This video brought to you in part by LinerX, custom fit car mats, floor mats, trunk liners, cargo covers, and more. And Fast Wheels, a proudly Canadian alloy wheel brand dedicated to covering a wide range of wheel styles. Hey folks, welcome back to Ed's Garage. A fun one for you today. I'm sitting here inside of my Ioniq 6 and I am boiling hot because it's in the sun. It's about, it's only about 25 degrees centigrade right now. It's not that hot outside, but of course, sitting in the car with the windows all shut and, you know, it's not running. So currently it's hot in here. And the reason it's hot in here is because I want to test something. I want to see just how strong the HVAC system is in this vehicle, the heat pump. And I'm going to be putting to the test. I'm going to be putting the vehicle into utility mode and I'm going to be running it for, well, a large part of today. I don't know how many hours yet, but I'd say at least 4 hours because I want to see how much the climate control takes away from the overall range when it's in utility mode. And I'm going to actually be making it even harder for the HVAC system because it's going to be also cooling down the trailer. So as you can see, I've got this little contraption right here. Let me explain to you what I've got going. But first, if you're new to this series, basically what we're going to be doing in July 17th, we're going to be leaving on something like 15,000 kilometer road trip. And we're going to be taking this trailer, which is loaded with solar panels and batteries and whatnot. We're going to be pulling it with the Ioniq 6. Now, Ioniq 6 is technically not rated for towing in Canada or United States. However, we're going to do it anyway. So if you haven't seen the previous videos, please check them out. Basically in the description in the link below, or in the link in the description below, you're going to notice a link to the series. So what it is a series of you know, modifications that I've made to the trailer, range tests that I've done with the Ioniq 6 to make sure that this is actually going to work. So right now we're looking at somewhere between a range of about 283 kilometers pulling the trailer, and probably a bit more if it's a lot of straight flat roads, because that was going up a hill and down a hill and such. But in any case, today we're going to be testing that HVAC system. So here's what it looks like on the outside. I've got an inlet and outlet. And what I've done is I've made these little wooden panels here to fit perfectly in the window. So when you close the window, it kind of seats inside there. And then also all of the white bits that you see are 3D printed. And what that is it allows me to slide in and out different pieces, as you can see. So let me show you the inside again here real quick. So on the inside, we've got two fans, one going one way, the other one going the other way. So I'm hoping that it will circulate the air through the RV. Well, I guess it is technically an RV, a tiny one, but it is. This one's going to be pushing the air in, so the cold air, and then the hot air basically will come out of here. I don't know if those are going to interfere with each other. I hope not. But the other thing that we might do is actually just have both fans blowing into the RV and then have the top vent in the RV on to suck the air from the car into it. That may actually work better. So that's what this test is for, is to see how much battery power we use, how much we drain out of the car, and of course, whether or not this actually works. But yeah, as you can see, I can actually take these out as well. So let's go look inside the trailer and see what that looks like. All right, so we're inside the trailer now, and as you can see, I've got the two ports here, and again, with the little slidey bits on there. And I've printed out these little adapters here. That's just some JB Weld to strengthen that bit up. But basically, this is kind of a redirector, and this is a 45-degree angle redirector. So what I'm thinking is actually having the inlet, which is the lower one here, I think I'll just have it blowing maybe down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try sideways here. So I'm going to stick that in that spot there, and then I'm going to put this one the other direction so that it hopefully sucks air in from the side. Now, if I wanted to, I can actually just take these out, spin them, and move them in different directions. This one, I could probably just leave it out, to be honest. I don't know if this is going to work the way I'm thinking it is going to. Again, I might just have both of these blowing air out. As you can see, I've got this cool little fan up here that can suck the air out of the RV. But for now, we're going to keep the RV completely shut, and we're just going to let it do its thing. So in here right now, as you can see, it is 27.7 degrees. I don't know if that's where it's going to top out. I put the thermometer in here. Put the thermometer in here about 10 minutes ago. It just went up to 27.8. So yeah, honestly, if it turns around and starts going back down to room temperature, then we'll know it's working. So let's go ahead and turn the car into utility mode and start the process. Oh my gosh, it's warm in here. All right, so starting up the car. Now, I've never actually done this. I don't know how this works exactly. But first off, I just want to make sure that the fans, okay, that's off completely. Fans are on, circulating air. Turn this back on again. I'm gonna put this on level 2 automatic. All right. So you know what we'll do here is I'll shut this, or I'll quiet this down just during this part of the video. Okay, let's do utility mode. So we're on the main menu screen here. I don't even know where utility mode is. I guess it's probably under setup. Vehicle. Convenience? No. Huh. Let's search for it. There it is. Ah, set up EV settings, utility mode. Okay, so you can use electronic devices such as audio and interior lighting with the engine turned off during camping, long stop, press the start button to exit utility mode. Okay. Turn that on. Activating utility mode. Okay. So it's now on. Car still seems to be running though. Okay, I just shut it off. Everything turned off. Fans in the back turned off. I'm going to hit the accessory button here. Okay. So this time I didn't push the brake. Utility mode. Utility mode, operation conditions not met. Huh, I guess you actually have to just leave the car on. Okay. So we'll actually press the start button with the foot on the brake this time. So now the car is running. All right. Well, utility mode is now turned on. Okay, well, whatever. So what we want to do is we want to have the EV screen up. So we're going to go into the energy information. And we're going to leave it on here. So now, basically, I want everything off with the exception of the climate control. And unfortunately, you can't, it doesn't appear to be possible. So it looks like this screen needs to stay on. Strangely, the steering wheel assist is still turned on as well. That's too bad. But I'm going to make sure that the lights are off. I'm going to dim all the interior lighting right down to as low as possible. Okay, I'm going to maybe a little brighter than low as possible. Now I can't see anything. Okay, climate control on level 2. All right, now it's going to get a little bit noisier here, so we're going to leave it on level 2, and what we're going to do next is we're going to go into the back seat. I want to see if I can feel the warm air coming out of that one. Let's do that real quick. Okay, back seat now. Can barely feel anything. Honestly, it's such a small amount. I mean, there's definitely, you can feel a little tiny bit of air coming out of it, but I think it's probably going to work better if we just have the air go straight into the trailer and suck it out with the fan. So I might end up doing that. I'll see what the temperature gets down to after like an hour from now. It's currently 123, so we'll come back at 220 and we'll see what the temperature in the trailer is like. But I'm going to go into the trailer right now and just see what it feels like. All right, so it is, oh look at that, it actually already dropped by 0.1 degree. Just, yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so good airflow coming out of here, fast enough. So it's interesting, I've moved that, look at that. Okay, maybe I'll just change this. Didn't think of this this little setup as well as I could have. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that out. There's definitely more air coming out now. This one, on the other hand, I wonder. Yeah, see that? It's actually not really doing much at all. Let's take a smaller piece here. Oops. So it looks like my two-way idea just isn't really working. As you can see, no air is leaving. So that's not going to work. I'm gonna go ahead and flip that fan around right away, and I think it's going to work much better that way. Yeah, even before I left the trailer, actually, it's already bounced back up to 29.1. It's probably because I had the door open for like a moment, let it drop down a little bit. So yeah, let's go ahead and flip that fan around, and actually I'm going to take the fan out first. I want to see if there's more airflow coming out of the one with the fan versus the one without the fan. And the reason for that actually is because the air conditioning system in the car is blasting air into the trailer anyway, so the fans may not even be necessary. But we're gonna do it anyway and see what the difference is. All right. Okay. I gotta take this off again. All right, so this one here has the fan on it, and the top one does not. Definitely getting more action from the bottom one. It's not a huge difference, but it's definitely a difference. So I think if I put the fan on the other one, it's funny, you can actually see the inside of the car from here. I think if I put the other fan on the top one blowing in as well, I think that's going to make a big difference. But first, we're going to open up this vent just a tad. Just about there. Oh yeah, that made a huge difference. I don't know if you can tell. Even on the top one, it's going much better as well. The bottom one is still putting out more air. Not a lot, but enough. Enough of a difference. Okay, let's go mount the other fan in this direction. Here, it's definitely cooler in here now. I mean, it's still warm. It's probably, I'd say maybe 24 degrees in here right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and replace this fan or spin it around. Unfortunately, to spin the fan around, it does need to be unscrewed and then screwed back on in the other direction. Shout out to Nick, my general manager, for calling it. He said that it's probably going to work better to just have the trailer sucking the air from the car and then throwing it out the ceiling. I mean, it makes a lot of sense too, and I suspected that it might be that as well, but I didn't want to call it until I actually did it. So, all right. And you can see we now have two fans blowing into the trailer. All right, so as you can see, I got one blowing that way and the bottom one blowing up. And the reason I've done that is because one time I did read, actually, that apparently with air conditioning, you should have it blowing upwards. And I guess that's to just cause the hot air that's up on top to kind of come down a bit so that it can then get cooled or replaced with cooled air or something. I don't know. But there is one more thing that I'm going to do. Now, I have this fan right here, but it's kind of noisy and I don't really want to have it on. And at the top of the bathroom door, there's actually a gap here. So what I'm going to do I'm going to crank this open a little bit. I'm going to turn this one on, which is also kind of noisy. Think of it. You know what? I think that one's noisier. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and turn this one on, actually. Oh, that's not very noisy at all. And we'll just open that up a bit to let some of the hot air out. And now it's, oh yeah, now it's definitely pulling a lot of air from the car. All right. Okay, still at 29.1 degrees over here, so that hasn't changed. But over here, I'm definitely feeling a difference. It's definitely having an effect. But you know what? This is a test of whether or not the car could do everything. So I'm actually going to turn this off again. And I will leave it open though, because the air coming from the car needs to replace the air that's in here. So I'm going to leave, you know what? I'm going to close this one. And I'm going to open the one in the bathroom so that it has to go further to leave the actual cabin of the RV. Yeah, so now it has to go up there. Okay, so we're going to come back at 2:23 and see what it's like. All right, we are at 1 hour and counting. So it has gone a little bit down. So it's actually gone down by 1 degree, as you can see. So that may not seem like much after 1 hour, but I will say that sitting here, it does feel significantly cooler than it did an hour ago. And as a matter of fact, you got to remember that currently the trailer is sitting in direct sunlight, as is the car. But the whole idea of cooling down the cabin of the trailer with the car is actually so we can sleep a little easier at night. So this is mainly going to be being done when the sun is down, so that will help immensely. In any case, as you can see here, so 28.1 degrees. Let's go check out the car and see where it's at for percentage drop. All right, so currently the battery percentage is at 97. Sorry, you can't really see it from there. The screen is too dark. But we've actually used 66% has been by the climate control, 34% by the electronics. I know the screen is really, really dark, but yeah, so a 3% drop over 1 hour. Now keep in mind that as the cabin temperature and the temperature in the trailer start to equalize to what the cabin temperature is set at, then there will be less, climate control functionality, less energy consumption there. So we're going to see what this looks like in another 2 hours now. So we're going to go ahead and set a timer for 4:20. All right, we'll see you then. All right, it's been a couple hours here, so we're at 3 hours now. Let's have a look to see what our temperature is at. And I did kind of jump in earlier to try it. Check this out. Temperature is at 24.4, so it's definitely doing a good job. So now, of course, we're going to want to check to see what the battery of the car, percentage of battery loss on the car is. So let's have a quick look at that. All right, so after 3 hours, it's at 94%. And yeah, climate control is used 67%, electronics 33%. Climate control is still drawing about 3/4 of a kilowatt. So yeah, it definitely feels like it's about 19 degrees in here now. So I think it's just kind of maintaining that temperature. Actually, it's still a little bit warmer. It's kind of tough to say. I mean, that's probably why it's still drawing that much kilowatts. So doing well so far. So we're going to give it another an hour or two, and maybe another 2 hours just to see how it goes. Because yeah, we've only dropped 6% at 3 hours, which is pretty reasonable. Again, the sun has been out the entire time as well. So most of the time when we're doing this, it's going to be after sundown. So current temperature outside is about 26 degrees. All right, we'll be back. Okay, it has been about 5 hours, pretty much exactly 5 hours on the nose. As you can see, it is still sunny out, but the sun is going down, and there's a few clouds up in the sky now as well. So it has cooled off a bit outside. It's about 24 degrees outside now. Let's have a look first at the current battery percentage, and that is 92%. And the climate control is pulling in about a 1/4 of a watt, 0.4 of a watt at the moment. So not really using that much energy anymore. But yeah, let's see what the temperature is inside the trailer. So the most important thing to note here is that we've used 8% of the battery over 5 hours, which really isn't much, is it? All right, and in the trailer, it is a very comfortable 22.5 degrees. So I'd say that that worked out quite well. Now again, it's not super hot out anymore outside, but of course, this is basically a test to see if this works. And right from the get-go, after an hour, we did already start to lose temperature inside the trailer. It was already down a degree after 1 hour of, extremely difficult circumstances. So when it's in the shade, when it's, no longer sunny out, I think this is going to work quite well. It's really nice, cool air coming out of here now. I'm pulling it from the car. So it's doing a good job. And of course, keep in mind, I can also get this fan to come on, which will really, really suck the colder air out of the car. Probably cool it down in here quite a bit faster. But I think the proof of concept works, and that's what I was looking for. And honestly, 8% over 5 hours it's really not much to worry about. If we let it go overnight, even if it does pull, let's say it's 16%. Well, I mean, I can make do with that. I'm not worried about, the range loss that accompanies 16%. 16% equates to about 45 kilometers if pulling the trailer under the worst possible conditions. So I think we can acceptably say that, acceptably? Is that a word? I think we can say that we're probably going to lose probably around 30 kilometers if it's hot enough outside. Just leaving the car running throughout the night. Now, obviously, that's pulling a trailer. So if you're not pulling a trailer, you're only going to lose like half of that, maybe 15, 20K tops. It's also going to depend on how hot it is outside, of course. So if we're going through Death Valley, I think we can expect to lose, more like 45 or 50 kilometers if we're running the AC throughout the entire night. But of course, we're going to optimize it as much as we can. We're going to, reduce the amount that it's trying to cool. We're going to have that fan going. I think we'll be okay. I think we can limit it to a loss of maybe 30 kilometers, even if it's crazy hot out. I think that'll be okay, because we're not looking to make this trailer 21 degrees Celsius or room temperature. We're just trying to get it to a more comfortable position so that it's easy to sleep at night, that sort of thing. But I think I'm going to end the video there. I think this was a good test. It was kind of cool to see what sort of range loss we got running the AC for 5 hours. The utility mode is a little bit frustrating to me. I find that it would be nicer if utility mode allowed you to keep everything on except for the instrument cluster and, the power steering for whatever reason. Like, why does that need to be on when it's in utility mode? That doesn't make any sense to me. It would also be nice to be able to get out and lock the doors, but you can't do that either. So, Hyundai, you're not going to watch this, but if anybody from Hyundai happens to be watching this video, maybe look at reprogramming utility mode to make it make more sense. Right now, it doesn't make sense. If I wanted to, I could hop in the car right now without the keys and drive away. It's not locked, and it's already running, so it doesn't need the key. You know what? I'm going to try that, actually. I'm going to disconnect the AC lines here, and I'm going to jump in the car. It's in utility mode, and I'm going to see if we can actually drive it out of here. That'll be a neat little test to round off this video. All right, so I've disconnected the lines. The car is still in its exact same configuration. Let's see what happens. No key, as you can hear. Seatbelt. So I'm going to just turn the camera here so you can see what I'm looking at. So it shows no key in the vehicle. Don't mind the tire pressure monitor thing being on. Okay, I can't put it in reverse, can't put it in drive. Okay, that's good. So you can't drive the car away. That's good. But yeah, for some reason, power steering still works. That's kind of weird, eh? But anyway, that is where I'm going to end the video then. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Please comment below if you have any comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. I I do want to quickly say thank you so much to all my viewers and all the support that you've given me over the last couple of years since monetizing the video. I really, very much appreciate it. If you made it this far, again, thank you so much. In any event, have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. We're coming into the summer here, and go out there and enjoy life. Thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Till next time.